Hey Polytopians, welcome back to another highlight reel, this time for the sneaky and stout tribe that is QUETZALI. Starting with strategy, this tribe can surprise greedy opponents with early cloaks and defend adamantly with walls. I'm Chris, and these are the best moments from the semis and finals of the QUETZALI qualifiers. Let's jump into it. Game 1 starts off asymmetrically, with Cabanos using a lighthouse opening to play into hunting early. Despite being down a full city in the early game, Cabanos' subsequent play into archery is a masterclass in how to apply pressure before your opponent can set up. Viking responds quickly, however. His early star ruin facilitates a quick giant in his capital with forestry, allowing him to also get a wall in his second city to lock it down. Cabanos, realizing the win is getting further and further out of reach, goes for the kill and trains a cloak in his capital. Viking's tidy response in the next couple of turns shuts down those hopes, with his catapults locking Cabanos out of the game. Realizing there is no hope of breaking through, Cabanos resigns. Cabanos, back against the wall, starts off the second game strong. He gets the first giant of the game on turn 7 using mathematics, immediately applying pressure to Viking's nearby city. Meanwhile, Viking gambles it all on 2 ruins, one of which requires him to buy climbing. This gamble pays off as he nets archery and stars, allowing him to go into mathematics and set up his defense. Unfortunately, it is not enough to hold off Cabanos' early giant, which secures the siege and pushes him into the lead. He then gets trades soon after and drops an imposing market. Viking is not far behind, however, and gets trade himself just a few turns later. With his attack mounting to reclaim the city he lost, Viking seems poised to make a comeback. Cabanos quickly nullifies this threat, however, with a beautiful bomber splash. After an intense back and forth on both the water and the land, Viking finally finds a way through, shredding Cabanos' catapult defense and finally dislodging the giants protecting the contested city. Aquatism to protect his growing navy is the cherry on top, and in the face of an overwhelming economic disadvantage, Cabanos resigns. Viking moves on to the finals. The next semifinal match is between Justeeni Lingueeni, who some of you may recognize, and LeLiberateur, who was the previous World Championships Chinchi representative. The first game between the two is a relatively quick one. While LeLiberateur manages to pick up the contested 4th city and apply pressure with a well-timed diplomacy ruin, Justeeni prevents the cloak from landing and amplifies his economic lead by getting early giants. He then finds and kills the cloak just 1 turn later, and powers his way through the walled city by bringing in a second giant. LeLiberateur, unable to stop the wave of giants and catapults in tow, resigns the game. Justeeni shows us why he's more than just a Polytopia YouTuber in the second game. Only 6 turns in, we see him win the race to the western side of the map, using a tactical rider bounce to secure even more space. Despite this imposing expansion disadvantage, LeLiberateur plays for his outs, getting a fast giant and setting up to do to Justeeni what was done to him in Game 1. While LeLiberateur's giant ominously marches forward, Justeeni bides his time, connecting cities together with roads and training some defensive riders. Just when it seems like he plans to give up the city, we witness greatness. An incredible Houdini from the man himself crushes LeLiberateur's hopes and sends Justeeni to the finals, where he will face Viking. Game 1 between these two masters is a perfect example of playing with what you're given. Justeeni, not seeing the potential for mathematics, jumps into the water early, looking to punish Viking's greedy market rush by setting up unbreakable naval control. This gambit pays off for Justeeni, who is able to push Viking back into his borders as we reach the middle game. Viking, however, saw this coming, and was simply biding his time for when he could complete his market setup. Justeeni, realizing he is down a lot of economy, makes a last-ditch effort to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. He trains a few cloaks to attack Viking's exposed capital, sends in the bombers, and advances his giant line. Viking, however, finds the only move in the position. A port and a fantastic Juggernaut splash devastates Justeeni's exposed bombers and kills an invisible cloak, ripping apart Justeeni's delicate offense and forcing him to resign. Justeeni finds himself on the ropes again in Game 2. Down a city, in the neutral game, he calculates a brilliant line to take control. 2 catapults trained in his frontier cities lock down Viking's position and allow Justeeni's attack to get off to a roaring start. This pays off when Justeeni secures Viking's west city just a few turns later, and his east city shortly after that. Victory, however, will not come easily for Justeeni. Viking, fully prepared to lose those cities, jumps into the water and launches a threatening assault on the center lake with several bombers. After a tenuous back and forth in the middle lake, Justeeni finally breaks through by overloading the capacity for Vikings bombers to defend, simultaneously creating problems in the lake while also threatening Vikings' northwest city on land. Viking, unable to hold everything, resigns the game. With this series on the line, the players find themselves in another asymmetrical position. This time, it is Viking on the water, while Justeeni plays for control of the land with riders. Viking's play into the water propels him into a strong position in the middle game, securing him the city advantage and commanding control over the center lake. While Justeeni tries to defend with archers in the north, Viking's sneaky bomber shreds the squishy backline and allows him to make progress on land. Justeeni's border growth to gain naval access comes too late, and his desperate attempt to get into the water is swiftly repelled by Viking's overwhelming naval advantage. Having exhausted his winning options and found nothing, Justeeni resigns. Congratulations to Viking, who is your QUETZALI representative, and well played to all the players involved. I hope you enjoyed watching this round of the qualifiers. Viking is a seasoned competitor and someone you should keep on your radar as a world champion contender. If you like this video, be sure to leave a comment on your favorite highlight. Also, be sure to join us for the Zabasi qualification rounds. With Zabasi's signature bounty of farms, expect lots of economy and intense endgames. Until next time, peace.